Welcome to Dan's On Fandoms. I'm Dan. If you've thought that Star Wars Bounty Hunters Parts 1, 2, and 3 were a wild-ass ride, well, get ready for Part 4, because holy crap, the ending of this issue was something else. It's an issue fraught with a ton of action and has some Star Wars fans enthralled, while others aren't so happy, but more on that later. For now, let's dive into Part 4 of Star Wars Bounty Hunters. The issue opens by showcasing the aftermath of a bombing on the planet Cavan S4 in an unbroken clan district as revenge for stealing the Mourner's Wail spice in the previous issue. We see that it's T'Onga telling Valance about the bombing and explaining that those deaths, and every death since Nakano Lash killed Khamus, are on the Nautolan for killing the Mourner's Wail Syndicate's heir. T'Onga strong-arms Valance into teaming up with her to find Lash, and forces Valance to put a modified restraining bolt on that allows T'Onga to shock him. Returning to Ruusan, we learn that the young girl Oris Bynor is holding hostage is named Cordelia, and Nakano Lash pleads with the bounty hunter to not hurt the young girl. But as Oris goes on about how disappointed he is by the husk of a person Lash has become, Cordelia pulls out a knife and stabs Oris in the face. God damn, bro, that's what you get. Lash then proceeds to chop off the Thespasian's arm before choking him to death with his own damn tail before she and Cordelia hightail it out of there. Love it, man. T'Onga and Valance soon arrive and find Oris's body and decide to speak with some of the locals to find out what they know about where Lash and Cordelia went. Back on Galmera, a still immobilized and tied up Bosk is approached by an unknown individual and asks where Valance went. Bosk reveals to the individual that Lash and Valance are on Ruusan before getting judo chopped in the face. We then come back to Ruusan and find T'Onga and Valance aren't having any luck in finding information from the locals on where Nakano Lash is. Valance and T'Onga soon encounter several locals that let them know they're not welcome on Ruusan, and they release a Nexu to attack the two bounty hunters. After fighting off the locals and the Nexu, the old man that we saw speaking to Nakano Lash in Part 3 appears, stopping T'Onga from killing the Nexu, while also letting Valance and T'Onga know that Lash is close by. T'Onga and Valance then fly off-world just above Ruusan to the wreckage of a battle between the Republic and Separatist forces, where Nakano Lash is hiding out on a starship. Valance and T'Onga make their way into the ship, find Lash, before Valance stops T'Onga from killing the Nautolan. Nakano Lash tells them that T'Onga has the right to know what happened on Corellia before deciding if she wants to kill Lash or not. Lash then begins to explain what happened all those years ago, stating that once the crew of bounty hunters breached the Unbroken Clan's sanctuary, Khamus was preparing to kill an Unbroken Clan woman, a woman that he impregnated. Before Khamus could kill the woman and her unborn child, Lash killed Khamus. We then learn that the woman Nakano Lash saved is named Corinthia and is the daughter of the ruler of the Unbroken Clan. Corinthia tells Lash that her father would have killed Khamus if he found out Khamus was the father of her child. Very Romeo and Juliet, huh? Hoping to survive, Lash grabbed Corinthia and tried to escape with the pregnant woman. On their way out, a blaster bolt is fired and kills T'Ongor. Lash tells T'Onga that the blaster bolt must have come from a sniper that they missed, but I'm thinking that's not the case since we never saw who fired the shot, but more on that in a moment. Lash continues on, explaining Corinthia died in childbirth weeks later, that she feels she's to blame for both T'Ongor and Corinthia's death, and that Numo Grey will kill her soon if T'Onga decides not to kill her anyway. Lash proceeds further and tells T'Onga and Valance that the young girl, Cordelia, that's been with her is Khamus and Corinthia's daughter, thus making her the heir to both the Mourner's Wail and Unbroken Clan syndicates. If Cordelia can be protected, Lash explains, she'd be able to unite the two syndicates and end their war. T'Onga decides that she won't kill Lash and that she's going to head back to the moon of Logal Rai in Lasha's arms. That's of course before she takes a goddamn blaster bolt right to the gut, and we learn that it was none other than Boba Fett that shot her, and that's where the issue ends. This goddamn issue is insane, guys. I was left stunned by the revelation that Khamus wanted to kill a pregnant woman that he had a sexual and possibly romantic relationship with. I wasn't expecting that at all to be who he wanted to kill. Clearly, we're going to find out that Boba Fett shot T'Ongor after the mission on Corellia went bad, since we learned that the twins of her people have a special bond. I mean, it's gotta be Boba Fett that killed him and not a sniper. Her death was a complete surprise to me, but we'll touch on that in a moment. Also, it was obvious in Part 3 that Nakano Lash was sick and would be dying, but we got confirmation in this issue when she tells Valance and T'Onga she has Numo Grey, which is the first time in canon the virus has been mentioned. I've mentioned it in each video on this series, but I'm loving this comic, this story, and how brutal it's been, and Part 4 was another absolute stellar installment in this series. With that said, this issue does come with some controversy. Many Star Wars fans were not happy that T'Onga, an LGBTQ person of color, was so quickly killed. I'm a nerdy ass white dude that has had nothing but representation in the content that I've loved ever since I was a little kid, and that most likely won't change anytime soon, so I can't relate to reading a comic and seeing a character that is of a demographic less represented in comics, only to then have to quickly see them killed off. I imagine that's gotta suck and be super frustrating. As mentioned earlier, I think it will be revealed that Boba Fett killed her brother and will be responsible for both of the siblings' death, so I'm hoping that her death won't just be in vain. With that said, guys, I can't hide my enjoyment for this comic series. I've loved each issue that's been released up to this point, and it's quickly rising to the top of my all-time favorite comic series, and that includes comics from other fandoms. This comic series is the closest we'll get to an R-rated Star Wars story, and that's something I've wanted for years. But what are your thoughts on Star Wars Bounty Hunters Part 4, and what do you think about the series thus far? Do you think Boba Fett killed T'Ongor? Let us know down in the comments. Want more Star Wars content? Check out some of our other videos. Please like and subscribe, and stay nerdy.